cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Live from our Denver studios, it's America's Voice Live with Tudor Dixon and Steve Gruber. America's Voice Live.
Historic Republican turnout at the polls yesterday, and some folks are questioning counts on mail-in ballots in this presidential race that remains uncalled today. We're going to take you on a wild post-election day ride today. You're watching America's Voice Live on Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. I'm Tudor Dixon here with Steve Gruber. Steve?
Well, there are many questions today about the election, potential games being played, fraud. So what's still in play? Let me tell you, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Now, Arizona is back on the board. We'll talk about that in just a moment, Tudor.
Michigan is planning to make the call on the presidential election today, but you should know while you were sleeping last night, Michigan happened to find 138,339 ballots, and every single one went for Biden.
How remarkable. You can rest comfortably with Congress. Republicans are expected to hold the Senate and did pick up now 7 seats, we are told, in the United States Congress, pick up of 7 seats. And so it was a very good night for the Republicans in a host of places. No blue wave, that's for sure. Let's go to the map and start with that, because there are so many things to catch you up on if you've taken a break from it for a short period of time. First of all, Arizona back on the map. That changes everything. When Arizona was declared for Biden very early in the evening, a whole host of folks said, well, that's your ball game, and it well could have been. In fact, Arizona should not be blue at all anymore. And I say that because the Arizona Republic was the first report. That's the big newspaper, by the way, in Phoenix, that said there are between 400,000 and 600,000 ballots outstanding that lean for Donald Trump. And in fact, he's been winning those ballots at a clip of about 60-40. If that continues, he will win Arizona in a much more comfortable fashion than what we were learning before. So that's very, very important. Arizona back in makes the path to 270 much easier for the president. Let me give you the rest of the equation. We can keep that map up there and kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at here, because it's important. When you go from Arizona, then you head through the Sun Belt. You end up in Florida. When Florida was called last night, obviously that was the first big key for the president. Then you see Georgia, North Carolina, and that leads all roads to Pennsylvania. The Trump campaign says they're going to win Arizona by 30 to 40,000 votes. They say they've known it the entire time. They expect to win Georgia and North Carolina and Pennsylvania. And they say they're not done in Michigan yet, although, Tudor, you and I have talked about this. Michigan looks like an awfully tough lift. We'll see how we get there, but well, I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf put out a tweet that there are still 1 million ballots in Pennsylvania to be counted, which is good for Tom Wolf, because right now the Democrats are trailing by 600,000 votes in the Keystone State. If you don't have another 1 million votes to count, Pennsylvania would already be wrapped up and done. But I think we're going to find ourselves with some court action here in a couple of places. You mentioned those 138,000 magical ballots showing up in Michigan, Tudor. We also know of a couple of counties that are going to be flipped because apparently they just put the numbers in the wrong column. Oh, our bad. Very Republican counties being declared for Joe Biden. Not even close, Tudor. You know, this feels like Election Day Part 2 because we're not done yet. And I know you've been on the couch there in the Washington, D.C. studios for about 20 out of the last 22 hours. And I've been here for a long time. But we're going to get through this and try to share as much information as we can. Some of it might break during the program, but we'll see where it goes, and we'll follow along.
Absolutely. This election is nowhere near over right now. We're hearing that Nevada is not going to continue counting until Thursday. Steve, this is an unusual move. They're saying that they want to get all the mail-in ballots in, although they're supposed to have them in. Now we're hearing, well, this could stretch until November 10th because that's the date they're giving to have all of these ballots back in. But we know for sure that Nevada will not be giving any more numbers until Thursday. Does that surprise you, Steve?
You know, it surprises me a bit, but here again, this is a state that was put into the Joe Biden column, and maybe prematurely. The lead for Joe Biden is less than 8,000 votes. According to what I'm seeing, there are at least 14% outstanding ballots that have not been counted. And as you know, Tudor, you've done this long enough, as have I, that a lot of those ballots that trickle in late are from outlying areas that would be more likely to vote for Donald Trump. The Trump campaign says, don't be surprised. We also think we can win Nevada. In fact, that's what they say. They can win Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and yes, now Arizona being put back on the board. It is in play, so I guess we'll find out what happens there. Meanwhile, well, go ahead, Tudor.
Well, meanwhile, Joe Biden came out and spoke last night. He is not happy with what the president is saying. Take a listen to what Joe Biden had to say.
You know, we could know the results as early as tomorrow morning, but it may take a little longer. As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. But I'm optimistic about this outcome.
He's optimistic. The president is also optimistic about this, but he got a lot of blowback for this. Take a look.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election. It's a very sad moment. To me, this is a very sad moment. And we will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it.
Steve, people on the left are not happy that he came out and said that. They say that it was not okay for him to declare victory. Now, this was something that they talked about before Election Day. They said, oh, the president has said that if he sees a victory, he will declare it immediately. He wasn't necessarily declaring victory. He didn't come out and say that the presidency is his. He's saying they believe that they've won it. And there are a few different paths of victory for him right now. We just don't have the complete numbers, Steve.
Well, you know, I'll be honest. I think he could have foregone that comment. I don't think that was necessary in that moment. You're right. We're going to count these votes. They are very confident that they're going to win Arizona. Looks like they're already going to lock up Georgia and North Carolina. Those will be the next two to fall in line. And then if, for the sake of argument, Joe Biden hangs on to Wisconsin, where it's very close, and Michigan, where it's very close, that will leave just one state to decide the presidency. It won't be Florida in the year 2020. It'll be Pennsylvania. We'll see how that comes together. Meanwhile, the Democrats also hope to take over the United States Senate. That apparently isn't going to happen either. The balance of power in the Senate will remain with the Republicans, though the Democrats did make some key pickups. They picked up a seat in Colorado. The Republicans picked up a seat in Alabama, and it looks like the Democrats are also going to pick up that seat in Arizona. Now, having said that, I want to direct you back to the fact that Arizona's back on the playing field for the presidential election, and if the president's getting about 60% of the vote or a touch more, according to the Arizona Republic, maybe Martha McSally picks up votes there as well. I'll be honest, I haven't looked as closely at that. But I guess the race that really stuck out to me the most outside of the race in my own home state is Susan Collins. Susan Collins had been left for dead in the state of Maine. She had no chance of winning that race, we were told, over Gideon. But the fact of the matter is her lead remains sizable. She is well over 50%, which means they don't have to go. They have this tiered election deal in Maine that if you're below 50%, then they go and consider who voted for you to be in second place. That's not going to happen, it doesn't look like, because at this point, Collins is at 51%, just over. Gideon is at 42%. And the areas that remain outstanding in the state of Maine would tend to favor Susan Collins remaining in that seat for a fourth term. So she survives. remarkable. And because of that, it looks like Mitch McConnell will survive because Tom Tillis also pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat in North Carolina. Cal Cunningham, as you may recall, had that extramarital affair that was all messy and in the papers here 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. So right now it looks like the balance of power will be 51 Republicans, 49 Democrats. These races are not officially called. That is my best guess with what we know right now.
And at this point right now, Steve, it does not look like we will be getting, that Republicans will be getting the gavel back in the House, but there were House seats picked up. That was what they were looking for. That was what Republicans were hoping for in this race. I don't think anybody went in really thinking that they would pull the House back, but they did win seats. We'll be back with more on Election 2020 after this.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
This is your place for post-election day coverage. We will be going through what's happened in this election all for the next 2 hours, Steve, and there's a lot happening out west.
Yeah, there certainly is. Our own Jessica Rivera is joining us from our Denver newsroom. Jessica, good to have you as always. And I understand you have an update on some of the western states and the key races there.
I do, Stephen. Tudor, good morning. Colorado was by no means a battleground state and actually went to Democrat Joe Biden. As expected, our Senate race here was supposed to be close and flip from red to blue, and it did just that. Incumbent Republican Senator Cory Gardner was unseated by Democrat John Hickenlooper. All 7 of Colorado's congressional districts remained with none of them flipping. But the race that was closely being watched was District 3, where Republican Lauren Boebert defeated Democrat Diane Mitch Bush. But it was definitely a close race and one to watch. Coloradans also voted on 7 propositions and 4 amendments, which consist of voting to enact paid medical leave along with a family leave program, to allow abortions after 22 weeks, give a state income tax rate reduction, increase taxes on nicotine products, to allow other games and higher bets in mountain casinos, and a vote to repeal property tax assessment rates. 2 other nearby states whose races are under the microscope right now are Arizona and Nevada. You both were just speaking about that before the break. Arizona is being called for Joe Biden on many polls, but will surely be contested. And Nevada looks to also be going to Joe Biden right now, but the final call has not been made, and it could possibly not come till, like you said, Tudor, earlier, till November 10th.
Thank you, Jessica. And yesterday, something kind of stunning happened, but at this point, I think we should be used to it. The president tweeted something out. I want to put that up on the screen for you to see what exactly happened with that tweet. The president tweeted this out, and guess what? Steve, he was censored.
Gee, I'm shocked. He said, we're up big, we're trying to steal, but they are trying to steal the election. We'll never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed. I happen to agree with that sentiment. I don't know why that one would be censored, except for he's saying that they're trying to steal the election. As I'm looking, Jessica's right. Arizona is still lit up as leaning blue on some maps, but I think that's because some people can't come to the terms with the fact that they may have been completely wrong. Now, protesters were getting violent with baseball bats in and around D.C. Of course, you heard us talk about it here when it all got started, boarding up all of Washington, D.C., which to me, something I've never seen in my lifetime, with the idea, the anticipation that there would be violence in the streets of the nation's capital. And in all my years of covering elections, and I've covered a lot of them, I don't remember any time when you see scenes like this, scenes of violence, people throwing fists, assaulting each other, baseball bats. This kind of violence has no place in the streets of America. If nothing else out of this election, I hope that we can find a path forward somewhere, regardless if Donald Trump is reelected for 4 more years or Joe Biden is elected to serve for the next 3 months, whatever it turns out to be. I'm hopeful that America can find a path forward so this kind of scene can be avoided. This has no place in America. This is a place where the freedom of speech rings true, does it not, Tudor?
Well, it's such an interesting situation here that we see in D.C. because we said, well, we believe that we'll have violence in the streets if the president wins. So many people were coming out and saying that's what we think will happen. There was no decision made last night, no decision made whatsoever. And yet we still see the violence in the streets. So you remember the Democrats came out and said, you vote for Joe Biden, all of the violence stops. Well, there was no clear winner. In fact, when we went to bed last night, it was looking like this could be in Joe Biden's favor, and yet we had people out in the streets last night. However, I will say, I didn't see this. I was walking back from the studio last night to the hotel. I saw none of this in the streets of Washington, D.C. I think you had to be in the right place at the right time, but I think there will always be people who are looking for that opportunity to do something like this.
Yeah, I've got some breaking news here for you, Tudor, that just came across the line here from political polls. At Data Orbital is estimating that Donald Trump is in line to carry the state of Arizona. I'm telling you, this will be the storyline for a good part of today. Fox News came under heavy fire last night for calling Arizona so early in the evening, and they talk about how careful they are. And we sit there watching different networks do their work because it's what we do on election night, and then we do our own work here on this network, of course, Real America's Voice. But it's mind-blowing to me how you're looking at Florida, and there's not enough vote out there for Joe Biden to catch up. Donald Trump's up by 3 points or more. He's winning Florida. He's crushing it, and they don't call it. And then Arizona, you have more than 500,000 votes outstanding, and it sits there and sits there and sits there. It just seems to be that way every time. But the breakdown in line with what we are estimating, we believe Donald Trump will carry Arizona. These ballots are heavily Republican. and will break in his favor. We estimate at least 500,000 outstanding ballots. Joe Biden's lead now in Arizona is about 90,000 votes, Tudor. So this is significant, and it will change the trajectory of this electoral battle.
It will. And a lot of people woke up this morning saying there was no path to victory for this president. Now, as the day goes on, we're seeing that there quite possibly is a path to victory and a very legitimate path to victory. But we have folks actually in Michigan now being called into the counting sites because remember, they stopped counting last night. There was reports to the GOP that there's fraud going on. They're asking for people to go in and watch these polls. So I know they've made calls to specific people asking for this. It will be something that a lot of folks will be watching over the next few days as we wait for these results to come in. Stay with us. This is Election 2020 coverage.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
And welcome back. We've been talking about the United States Senate a bit today as we are in day 2 of political coverage because we don't have a winner yet for the presidential race of 2020. We'll get to that, but we do now know that Susan Collins has been named the winner in the main race for U.S. Senate, which is extremely important for the Republicans to maintain control of the upper chamber. It is a critical win. Sarah Gideon has now conceded the race. That is what we were being told. A very gracious call from Sarah Gideon, the Democratic opponent. I told you at the top of the program, to me, it didn't look like there was enough math left for Gideon to rally. And it's remarkable because here's another one of these races because the polling companies, Quinnipiac, What a disastrous night they have. ABC News Washington Post called Wisconsin last week, said that Joe Biden was leading by 17 points. At the time, I said that will be remembered as the worst poll of 2020. So now as you look around the country and you realize that Susan Collins will retain that Senate seat in Maine, Tom Tillis looks as if he has retained and won the Senate seat that he sits in now in North Carolina. Purdue will hold on in Georgia. These are all critical, plus a pickup for Tommy Tuberville in Alabama. Now the Republicans lost 2 seats. They lost the seat in Colorado, and we believe he may have lost the seat in Arizona, but I caution you on this because we now know that the Arizona Republic says there are more than 520,000 outstanding ballots that lean heavily Republican that were never considered in the count. Before some networks made the call last night that Arizona had gone for Joe Biden. It has since come off the map for the Associated Press and others. It's now sitting out there, 11 electoral votes. The Trump campaign says, based on their math and the fact that this is heavily Republican balloting, they expect the president to win Arizona by 30 to 40,000 votes. Obviously, that would have a positive impact on Martha McSally and her race as well. Tudor, so these are big developments. Susan Collins, I think that is probably as big a surprise from the night as anything, that she holds on to that seat in the state of Maine.
Steve, we always joke that you are like a professor in these types of things, and you're always teaching us stuff about anything that happens in the political arena. So I want to ask you about the map, because have we ever historically seen this where a state like this has been called and then you see, 8-10 hours later, they're saying, actually, we're going to recall this and take a closer look at it?
Well, sure. The state that comes to mind is Florida, 2000. In fact, Al Gore called and conceded to George W. Bush, and a couple of hours later called him back and said, I'm going to hold off on that. So that went on for quite some period of time. Of course, that former Vice President Al Gore, then later graciously gave a concession speech. And, at some point we ought to play what Al Gore said right here on this program. Because he says, as much as I deeply disagree with the United States Supreme Court and their decision in this case, I respect it. And I respect this country enough to move forward and do the right thing and bring us together. And he had just lost a Supreme Court case that some would argue cost him the presidency. Now, in fairness, there was never a single count done in the state of Florida in the year 2000 that showed Al Gore winning the state. Came down to, I believe, 547 votes that George W. Bush won Florida. It's always tight in Florida. But yesterday, not so much. In fact, Donald Trump winning by 3 points is about as close to a Florida blowout as you get. But yes, we've been here before. But I think the recklessness of the polling has to be looked at. You have to look at polls that were calling, Joe Biden's up by 10, 12, 14 points. No, clearly he was not. He's up by about 2 nationally, and much tighter in the battleground states, Tudor. And this has to be corrected.
And that's something we talked to John Solomon about yesterday on this program. How could this happen? And he said exactly what you're saying. This is going to call into question all these pollsters. People are going to say this has to change. This can't continue happening. I know Grover Norquist was on your program yesterday talking about the polls and saying that Bob Dole actually lost the election because pollsters were wrong and putting out the wrong information. I know the Americans are interested in what will happen to that in the future. You're watching America's Voice Live.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because granite stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus, it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your granite stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a granite stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembling. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
Well, the coverage continues. A couple of breaking stories if you're just joining us here on America's Voice Live. Arizona back in play in the presidential sweepstakes, if you will. Those 11 electoral college votes back in play after about 520 votes have been found that apparently skew heavily Republican, so the Republicans think they can win that. Susan Collins just called the winner in the race for the main Senate seat, defying all odds. And that continues to put our focus on Pennsylvania. Nicholas Balassi is there with Just the News. He's in Pennsylvania today. The president, last time I looked, had about a 600,000 vote lead, but there's a lot yet to happen here. Nick, what's the latest?
There's a lot of ballots to count still coming out of Philadelphia, mail-in ballots. They're counting them right now at the convention center. And election officials are saying that they're going to do another update today, maybe 2 updates on totals for the mail-in ballots coming out of Philadelphia. Now, other officials statewide are saying that we may not know the whole state total until Friday. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Philadelphia, once those ballots start coming in, we might see in Pennsylvania what we're seeing in Wisconsin and Michigan, where the president's lead is diminished because you've got votes coming in from major cities that are Democratic strongholds that we all know go mostly for Democrats in a huge way. So it remains to be seen if Pennsylvania is going to start looking like Michigan and Wisconsin for the president.
Nick, we had a lot of people that came out yesterday and said, hey, there are suddenly these poll watchers that are being kicked out of the polls. And there were, by the end of the day, there were folks saying we really are concerned about whether or not we can trust what the voting totals, the ballot totals are in Pennsylvania. Have you heard anything about that or any investigations going on in Pennsylvania?
I saw a video, probably the one you're referring to on social media. There were a few videos about some certified poll watchers that were not able to get in. They came from, it looked like onlookers who recorded that. So I personally firsthand haven't heard of any situations where there was, some issues reported in terms of potential fraud in Philadelphia, myself specifically. But there is an issue in Montgomery County, a lawsuit. It looks like it's coming down the pike with possible irregularities with mail-in ballots that some people observed when they were being counted. That's something that looks like we'll see some more developments on in that county. That's a county outside of Philadelphia. So the outskirts of Philadelphia are really important, too, for the president, because you see a lot of people over the years coming out of the city and settling in the suburbs, and then they vote Democratic. But they're swing counties, Bucks County, Montgomery County, Northampton County. So it will be interesting to see if the president is able to win those counties, and possibly when all the votes are tallied, he'll have enough to put him over the edge, despite what comes out of Philadelphia. But all eyes are on Philadelphia right now, and they have a live stream going of the ballot counting, mail-in ballot counting that's going on at the convention center as we speak.
Well, Nick, that's the real question. I've heard a discrepancy. I've heard that there are 1 million ballots to count, according to Governor Tom Wolf. I've heard as high as 1.4 million ballots to count. Doing quick math, here on my scratch pad, in order to make up the deficit that they have in Pennsylvania right now, the Democrats would have to perform at better than about almost 80% if there's 1 million ballots to go, and at least 70% if it's 1.4 million. Is that even realistic that they would perform at 70% or above to narrow that lead by the president, and not even taking into account the votes that you just talked about in some of the counties surrounding Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and elsewhere?
Yeah, I think it's possible if the turnout was huge in Philadelphia plus the mail-in ballots. You have to look at the mail-in ballots when they all come in. We'll see if the amount of mail-in ballots for Biden were mostly in his corner and not in Trump's. I mean, real quick, I'll tell you, I was in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a completely different part of PA. But I was talking to voters weeks ago, and they were all Biden supporters. They were early voters. All of them were Biden supporters. I found a few Trump supporters who were on the street walking past the election office who talked to me. So if that's what happened in Pennsylvania, where you had all Republicans voting in person overwhelmingly, and then you had mostly Democrats voting by mail this election, maybe Biden could still pull it off despite Trump's lead right now. I mean, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Nick Ballasy, thank you so much with Just the News. Thank you for checking in with us from Pennsylvania, and thank you for being out in Pennsylvania. It is, of course, a very important state in this election. Steve, I want to ask you, again, I'm going to you as my professor here. Historically, when you look at mail-in ballots, or even when we look at mail-in ballots or early voting in these other states that have already been called, are we seeing that all of those go to Democrats, or are we seeing a mixture? Because I would think that this year with coronavirus, a lot of the older folks didn't want to be in line at the polling places. So we're kind of expecting a little bit more of a mixture, clearly more Democrats, but a mixture still of Republicans and Democrats.
I would find it remarkable. Almost unbelievable that the ballots would come in at better than 70% for Joe Biden and the Democrats. That would be almost unbelievable. And again, it's going to depend. Is there 1 million outstanding ballots? Are there 1.4 million outstanding ballots? That also plays into the math here. Now, listening to the Trump campaign and being privy to some of their internal calls here earlier today, they believe they've won Pennsylvania. They believe they have this, but they also believe that they can't just allow vote counting to go on for the next week and a half. They believe there has to be an end date on this. There has to be command and control on this, and that ballots that come in after Election Day should not be counted, period, regardless of when they arrived or regardless of what their postmark might be, because there was also this assumption that was supposed to be made that if a ballot showed up and it had no postmark at all, well, just assume that it got here on time. Well, that doesn't work, and nor does that make sense. Let's be perfectly honest about that. It would not make sense to be continuing to count ballots that showed up after Election Day. There's a reason it's called Election Day, all right? So as we look at the integrity of elections, people have to believe that elections are free and fair and, above all, honest. There has to be integrity. And that's why I anticipate, Tudor, that we're going to see some lawsuits here. The Trump lawyers are going to step in and say, listen, you can't do this. And you can't just arbitrarily change state law. I'm going to guess there's going to be a host of ballots that are disqualified because in the interest of fairness and honesty, you can't just do this willy-nilly. The nation can't stand for it. We can't stand for it. If Joe Biden won fair and square, so be it. But not by playing with the rules and playing games behind curtains. That doesn't fly.
No, and we know, obviously, there was the big Supreme Court nomination that made everyone freak out on the left, saying we're going to have to pack the courts because this is going to come down to the election being called by the Supreme Court. When we come back from the break, I want to talk about that a little bit more because the president did mention the Supreme Court, so I'm sure the hairs are raising on the backs of the necks of the leftists right now because that was the last thing they wanted to see, and they want Amy Coney Barrett to recuse herself if anything comes to the court. We'll talk about that right after this break. You're watching America's Voice Live.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
Steve, before the break, we talked about the Supreme Court, and of course, I want to get your opinion of this because I want you to hear what the president had to say, and then I want to get your professor opinion.
This is a major fraud in our nation. We want the law to be used in a proper manner. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list, okay?
Now, a lot of people on the left said that he was asking folks to stop counting. He was asking the votes to stop. But what do you think about him bringing the Supreme Court into this at this point?
I didn't hear him say anything about stopping counting. I heard him say stop voting. We heard a story out of Michigan, 138,000 ballots, I believe it was, that showed up in the middle of the night last night, and suddenly all 138,000 magically were all Biden votes. And now Joe Biden has a small lead in Michigan, but not a single vote for Donald Trump, and 138,000 turned in. One of those irregularities that we've talked about. I'm telling you, there are going to be court challenges to some of these ballots, and it sounds like there should be. I hope we can get a resolution to this quickly, because I don't think it's good for the country. I don't think it's good for any of us to continue to drag this on. But I do believe it's extremely important that the integrity of the election is defended, and that people can believe that when they vote, whether they win or lose, that it was done fairly.
Well, we've been talking quite a bit about Arizona. We have Ben Bergquam out there. He was out there all day yesterday. I want to bring Ben in now. Ben, tell us, Arizona's back in the play. What are you hearing down there on the ground? What happened yesterday? Give us the lowdown on Arizona.
Well, it's quite a crazy mixed bag out here. Obviously, a huge anomaly. One thing I can say for sure, polling in America has become pure quackery, because everything that we heard before this was wrong. I mean, everything. And that's really what I think the American people, leading up to elections, just disregard polls and do what you feel is right, because that seems to be the outcome from this. The one thing we all can agree on. We are hearing there's over 400,000 ballots still to be counted, provisional and early ballots. And really it comes down to what that percentage of breakdown is. The interesting thing to me was everyone I spoke to yesterday on the Republican side told me they expected President Trump to win Arizona. And most Democrats that I spoke to as well said that the question was whether or not he would win the entire presidency. But everyone just about was in agreement that Arizona was a lock. And then to have have it in question was surprising. We actually have, I believe, an interview with a couple of the folks that we talked to yesterday.
I voted for him mainly because of immigration. I'm worried about the large amounts of legal immigrants that are coming through the border, and as well as gun rights. I'm worried about Biden restricting semi-automatic rifles and weapons in general. I think if Trump wins, it's going to be a lot more of almost the same, but I think that's almost a good thing, because I think that if the Democrats do get in charge, there could be some radical change, including court packing, which really worries me about what that would bring. And I think if Biden wins, I think there would be some very radical change, especially with certain, because I don't think Biden is really the one in charge. I think it's a lot of Kamala, and I think Pelosi would be the ones really running the show.
I think if Trump does get reelected, we will bounce back, economically speaking, a little bit faster, because Biden is all about taxing, and I think that that's going to hurt the American people more than it's going to help the American people. So for me, I personally think that we wouldn't bounce back as fast if Biden wins. The only downside to that, if Trump wins, I know that there's going to be a lot of issues, socially speaking.
Do you think we'll know the results tonight?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be such a hair raiser, and there's going to be a lot of mailing ballot issues and stuff, so I don't think so.
And that's one of the, talking about young people, a lot of the young people I spoke to said the same thing. Now, if you look at the breakdown, what happened here in Arizona, obviously that went for Joe Biden at 62% for Joe Biden in the young vote in the 18 to 29 range, and only 29% for President Trump. This is, that is really what Arizona, the untold story. I think nobody realized the impact, or a lot of people weren't talking about the impact that weed on the ballot was going to do, legalizing marijuana here, and that had a clear impact. So there's still a lot to be counted, and there's still a lot to see here.
I guess we'll see what happens because of the unusual event of some networks calling it so early. That was the thing that was
that's right.
Very upsetting to many viewers last night, angry with certain networks. Ben Bergquam, thank you very much. We'll leave it there for now. But there's no question, Tudor. On social media, people were clearly not impressed with the call of Arizona so early in the night, when it was clear that states like Florida maybe should be getting the nod from the networks, and they were not. States like Texas, where it was 5- and 6-point lead, and Arizona getting called early. Now we're seeing quite clearly that it's likely to go for the president, and that changes everything. We'll see where the path leads, but I'm telling you, with Arizona on the board for the president, which they believe it will be, and based on what the Arizona Republic is saying about where those votes originated from and how many there are, it does favor the president. Then from there to Georgia, to North Carolina, and then we end up back in the Keystone State one more time, Tudor.
Yes, polling did not go well last night, and you're right, it did not. There were no winners in the media either, because people were saying, hey, wait a minute, you have all of the West Coast states immediately called well before they're even 50%. You're calling them for Biden.
Sure.
But we don't have Ohio. We don't have Florida. We don't have Texas. What is going on? And I heard some people saying that all of the media is now just in the pocket of Joe Biden, which does seem to have helped him in this campaign. Stay tuned. This is Election Coverage 2020.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Welcome back to America's Voice Live. Steve, a lot to talk about on the day after this election, isn't there?
Well, that's exactly right. We haven't gotten to a conclusion yet, but we hope to over the next 24 or 48 hours. We'll get an answer here. Michelle Bachmann, former member of Congress from Minnesota, was out there talking about the race last night, and she was part of the GOP victory tour. Listen to what she had to say.
All right, listen. Right now, I know you've been waiting. I know you want to see her. Let's bring in Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. Michelle, are you there?
I'm here. What a great night to be with you.
Oh, we're so excited. All right, I've only got a few minutes left before the top of the hour. I want to know what's going to happen tonight.
I think we're going to hear church bells ringing all over the United States. People are going to be clicking up their heels. It is going to be victory. I believe that the Lord our God has sealed this election in the heavenlies, and we are going to be rejoicing very soon.
Yeah, amen. You know, this is the beginning of the Great Awakening. You agree with that?
And without a doubt, as we've been praying into this election, we've been asking the Father for revival. It had to begin with repentance and confession of sin. The body of Christ has been doing that. So revival is at the door.
Amen. You're speaking my language. All right, real quickly, I want to know, what about Minnesota? What is Minnesota going to do?
I actually believe that tonight, if Minnesota goes for Donald Trump, there is very good reason to believe that it will, that this will be the high water mark in the entire election. As you know, since 1972, Minnesota is the longest running state that has voted for a Democrat for president. And I think tonight, if anyone will break that streak, it will be Donald Trump. People in Minnesota are fed up with our Democrat leadership. President Trump was shut out of his own rally this week, and people have had it. And so I think we're going to see, that's why I think it's going to tip over the top. And Donald Trump said it in every rally. Because of Ilhan Omar and Keith Ellison, they are driving people to vote for Donald Trump. So I think we're going to see real victory in Minnesota.
Obviously, that was not the case. We did not see real victory in Minnesota, but we continue to have people going back and forth on what will happen with this. Last night, Steve, we went to bed sort of thinking, okay, there's a chance for the president. Woke up, saw some other states that were looking more toward Biden, but in the middle of the night, Mike Pence was saying, hey, you should be positive. Here it is.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to join you in thanking 60 million Americans who have already cast their vote for 4 more years for President Donald Trump in the White House. And while the votes continue to be counted, we're going to remain vigilant, as the President said. The right to vote has been at the center of our democracy since the founding of this nation, and we're going to protect the integrity of the vote. But I really believe with all of my heart, with the extraordinary margins, Mr. President, that you've inspired in the states that you just described, and the way that you launched this movement across the country to make America great again, I truly do believe, as you do, that we are on the road to victory and we will make America great again. Thank you, Mr. President.
Steve, so many Trump supporters that I've had the chance to speak to this morning say, even though they are unsure of what this election is going to actually bring in the end, they feel an overwhelming peace. And I find that very interesting because we thought that there would be upheaval and turmoil, and we were told no matter what side was in a bad position at the end of the day, they would be out rioting. But so many folks I've spoken to say they feel peace. What's your experience?
Well, you know, I don't see Republicans rioting on the streets or putting together Molotov cocktails. I do see that Joe Biden is going to be making a statement on the 2020 election very soon. I don't know what that's about, but it just crossed the wire here in front of me. I don't know what he's going to have to say at this point because you still have several states outstanding, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Arizona, despite what some folks would tell you. Yes, it is back in play. Is Arizona, according to the Arizona Republic. Listen, they know their state best, and networks that called it too early might be very well embarrassed here shortly. This is America's Voice Live. We'll be right back.
America's favorite easy on, easy off energy compression socks just got better. Introducing Copperfit Energy Plus, the world's first graduated compression socks with a rich blend of ingredients found in the top moisturizing lotions and creams. These microencapsulated ingredients are infused into the compression fabric and are gradually released and absorbed by your movement. Motion-activated technology designed to hydrate and soften for all-day comfort. The more you move, the more Copperfit Energy Socks delivers.
I'm not thinking about that I have compression socks on. That simple fact that they feel better with them on than with them off, makes me love these socks.
Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric made in FDA-approved manufacturing facilities, woven into our Easy On, Easy Off graduated compression sock to help reduce swelling and discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I feel that soothingness in my calves and in my ankles, but they can make my feet feel good after 300 miles on the road, and they got to be good for anybody else.
Enhanced compression around the arch and ankles for extra support and relief of muscle aches and pains. And a soft, shock-absorbing footbed for all-day comfort.
All that arch pain that I typically have is just relieved.
They are super comfortable. They do the job. They're easy and they're effective. That's the whole point of wearing them.
Commercials always promise, promise, promise. This was something easy to try. Just put on a sock, see if it works. I have to say that I'm a fan.
The first ever Easy On, Easy Off compression socks with hydrating ingredients, worn by thousands of essential workers across the U.S. Order your Energy Plus compression socks online now at GetEnergyPlus.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-515-8892. Order right now and get a second pair free.
I get compression, I get comfort, all in one sock.
Motorcycle guys appreciate the better technology. This is better technology.
Feel the power of CopperFit.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
Historic Republican turnout at the polls yesterday, and some folks are questioning counts on mail-in ballots in this presidential race that remains uncalled. We're going to take you on a wild post-election day ride in this second hour. You are watching America's Voice Live on Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. I'm Tudor Dixon here with Steve Gruber. Steve?
And Tudor, thank you so much. Many questions today about the election and who will come out on top. Arizona has been taken back off the map by the Associated Press and others because 525,000 new votes have been found there. We'll see what happens. There are other states still in play, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and like I said, Arizona.
And Michigan is planning to make a call on the presidential election today, but you should know that a lot of ballots came in overnight while you were sleeping. It looks like 138,339 ballots, and every single one went for Joe Biden. But there is some interesting news on Michigan. Steve, as you said earlier, there might be some confusion on whether or not the numbers should have gone into Trump's column and they went into Biden's column in some historically red areas.
That's true, but those numbers pale in comparison to the 138,000 you were talking about. You can rest more comfortable with Congress. Republicans picked up 7 seats so far. We've been keeping track of that. I believe they got 2 in California. They picked up some other seats as well. We'll tell you about that. But first, let's go to the big map and show you what we're looking at right now. And I will point your attention down to Arizona. For many, that has come off the board now. Others have left it up there. I don't know where that will end up, but not just the Republicans. It's the Arizona Republic newspaper that said there are 520,000 votes that are heavily Republican that are outstanding, and right now the lead by Joe Biden in Arizona is about 90,000 votes, and they say, listen, Donald Trump's been carrying these areas by better than 60%, and if he does that, he will certainly carry the state, which is exactly what Republicans are saying. They should win the state by 30 to 40,000 votes, and they believe they're going to win other states like Georgia and North Carolina as well, Tudor.
Right, when you're looking at this map, you see Arizona is blue, you see Michigan's blue, you see Wisconsin is blue, because that's what they're expecting. They're expecting those states to go that direction, but we're now hearing that the president's campaign will ask for a recall in Wisconsin. We don't know the final numbers in Michigan. As I just said, we're seeing some of those numbers flip. They may have been transposed overnight, and Arizona was called last night, but as you said, Steve, it's back on the board.
Well, and as you look at this, you have to take note of the fact that in this map, it shows Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania leaning red. Will they end up that way? The Trump camp believes they will. They believe that they will hold on to Pennsylvania as well, despite the fact that the governor there says there are more than 1 million votes to be counted. If that's true, if there's just 1 million votes left to be counted, they would have to go by better than 80% to Joe Biden for them to catch up and take the state of Pennsylvania. The Republicans say that's not going to happen. The Republicans say that's not going to happen. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that and figure out exactly where we go from here. But I think by this time tomorrow, it's safe to say that we'll all be sitting here talking about, I bet the weather's nice this time of year in Harrisburg and Hershey and Pittsburgh and Philly. That's my guess is.
Well, the Trump campaign would also want you to believe that they have a chance in Nevada, which they very well may have a chance in Nevada. But we're hearing from the officials in Nevada that they are not going to continue counting until Thursday. So we will be waiting on that number as well, Steve. That has a lot of people frustrated right now because they want this counting to just go forward. So many people have been anticipating this election for, about 4 years now, I would say. This has been an election season that has just gone on. And now at the very last moment, you have the folks in Nevada saying, we are actually not going to count until Thursday. People are frustrated, but you know what? We don't know which way Nevada is going to go. They say that it will go. Experts are saying that it will go to the Democrats, but the Trump campaign, of course, is holding out hope, Steve.
And as I mentioned, there is some indication we may hear again from Joe Biden sometime again soon. A guy who conducted most of his campaign from his basement. I think it's safe to say, short of the coronavirus pandemic, Donald Trump would have won this election in grand fashion, and instead we're down trying to figure out where the last few votes are hidden. Will it happen in Michigan or Pennsylvania or North Carolina? Very close. I'm actually hearing right now that potentially there's been a call made. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm seeing arguments about protesters, not protesters, poll watchers being stopped by protesters from getting in and observing what's going on in Southeast Michigan. We'll keep an eye on that as well, Tudor. But Joe Biden had this to say last night about the outcome of the election.
You know, we could know the results as early as tomorrow morning, but it may take a little longer. As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. But I'm optimistic about this outcome.
He's optimistic about the outcome. Of course he is. He's got all sorts of people working on his behalf with nobody else looking over their shoulder to make sure they're doing it well, apparently, in Philadelphia and Southeast Michigan. But hey, whatever gets you through the night there, Joe. Back to you, Tudor.
That's exactly why Republicans did not want this to go beyond Election Day. They wanted those answers on Election Day so there wouldn't be this counting after the fact and ballots being found and all of a sudden many, many votes going to Democrats. But that seems to be what we're doing. Now, the president came out last night and spoke too. He's getting a little bit of blowback for what he had to say.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. It's a very sad moment. To me, this is a very sad moment. And we will win this. And as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it.
So he's saying we already won it. People are not happy with that statement, Steve. They say he should not be declaring victory. I don't think that was what he actually meant to do, was technically declare victory, but maybe he was providing hope. Other folks on the left believe this was a declaration of victory.
Well, I think that the president believes that it's still to be determined But it's hard to look the other way when you hear reports like you just shared from Michigan, 138,000 votes added to the total, and we've got the screenshots. 138,000 votes added to Joe Biden's total in the middle of the night with no rhyme, no reason, no explanation. All of a sudden, votes just materialize. It is remarkable to say the least, and of course you can see where people be upset by that. I should mention something else before we go here, and that's a bit of the Senate results. Tom Tillis hangs on in North Carolina. Cory Gardner loses as a Republican in Colorado. Tommy Tuberville beats Doug Jones to pick up a Republican seat in Alabama. But one of the most remarkable seats clearly is Susan Collins. She defies gravity. She hangs on to win, I believe it's her 5th consecutive term to be the senator from the state of Maine. That will help the Republicans maintain a majority, 51 seats minimum, it sounds like. And so we'll see where that goes. But of course, Susan Collins was not supposed to win at all. The pollsters, the big losers in 2020, may be worse than they were in 2016. They were wrong all over the board. They were wrong at the national level, at the state level, at the swing state level. They didn't have a level swing on anything. Quinnipiac and others like ABC News, Washington Post, those were suppression polls. Period. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
All right, and welcome back. We've got breaking news now. MERS News Service is a news service in the state of Michigan. They say that Joe Biden, the former vice president, has won the 16 electoral college votes at the state of Michigan now. I don't know where the other source would be, but MERS News. The lead for Joe Biden is somewhere around 40,000 votes, with 94% of the precincts reporting at this hour. And then this cleared the wire just moments ago as well from the Trump-Pence campaign, November 4, 2020. The Trump campaign statement on a Michigan lawsuit. As votes in Michigan continue to be counted, the presidential race in the state remains extremely tight, as we always knew it would be. President Trump's campaign has not been provided with meaningful access to numerous counting locations to observe the opening of ballots in the counting process as guaranteed by Michigan law. We have filed suit today in the Michigan Court of Claims to halt counting until meaningful access has been granted. We also demand to review those ballots which were opened and counted while we did not have meaningful access to those processes. President Trump is committed to ensuring that all legal votes are counted in Michigan and everywhere else. That comes from Bill Stepien and the Trump campaign, Tudor. But right now, Michigan being called by MERS News Service, that is a Michigan statewide news service, that it's 16 electoral votes will go to Joe Biden.
Well, this is interesting because we're wondering what's going to happen once we have all of these results in. What will happen on the streets? Last night, we mentioned earlier, there was some unrest in D.C. in the area that I was in. I did not see any, but our friend Brendan Gutenschwager, he may have seen someone with BG on the scene. I want to bring Brendan in now. Brendan, tell us what you're seeing out there on the roads.
A lot of protests and demonstrations really close to the White House, especially centered around Black Lives Matter Plaza there. And there have been just people marching through the street. Last night, there were a lot of different confrontations that had broken out with opposing viewpoints. There were some people that were surrounded. Out, people have gotten one hand there, got hit with the more extreme. Right. So it was. Yeah.
Brendan, we're having a very difficult time hearing you. So let's stop that for just 1 second. We're having some technical issues getting a clean audio feed from Brendan Gutenschwager there. He has been a guy who's traveled all over the country, from Kenosha to Portland, across the country, following the riots and the upheaval in this nation. Not sure what our issue was there, Tudor, but we'll get that cleaned up and hopefully get him connected back in here, because his stories are fascinating. He's been following all the different things happening in this country, and I'm guessing that if this election continues to drag out, which it could, that we could certainly have some more difficulties, and he could be there on the front lines. Tudor?
Yeah, and we've shown video of his in the past where we've seen a lot of people getting violent and aggressive. But one thing we talked about earlier, like I said, where I am in D.C., I didn't see this. And we walked back to our hotel from the office, and we didn't see any violence. But apparently it was closer to the White House. You can see here, we've heard there were reports of people with baseball bats attacking folks, attacking police. There was a lot of violence down there. But again, Steve, it seems like a select few people that are choosing to do this. However, we have been guaranteed pretty much that if this election does go to President Trump, that there will be people on the streets. They did intercept some Antifa letters that were going out to, I don't know, members of Antifa. You know, we've been told that Antifa is an idea, but they seem to be a very organized idea that is able to send out letters of notification to their idea members, who are then aware of when they should go out and do this protesting. So multiple cities, multiple areas where they were told that they were going to create massive unrest in the case of this president being elected. So Steve, obviously we are very anxious to get the results of this election, but also need to be prepared for the worst case scenario. We saw just a little bit of this last night in Washington, D.C. It could get worse.
Well, we hope that it does not. I guess my counsel would be this. Regardless of what happens here, it is time for this nation to take a breath, to step back, to put some of the anger and distrust to the side. What is clear today is that this election is going to be very close. It's going to come down to the wire. I don't know if Michigan's final numbers will show that MERS News was right about the call that they just made. I don't know what the final calls will be in Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. I can tell you that as the votes continue to come in Pennsylvania, the lead for the president continues to narrow. In fact, it's now just over 400,000 votes, the lead, 450,000 votes, the lead for President Trump in Pennsylvania. And the Secretary of State and others there keep telling us that the votes that are outstanding there favor the Democrats. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Arizona, it looks like it might end up at the president's column. Alaska certainly will. Likely Georgia and North Carolina will. It all comes down to Pennsylvania. It really does. And so that's where we're going to see the real focus over the next few days. Now, if for some reason Arizona, Georgia, or North Carolina end up in Joe Biden's column, that too would spell the end of the president's reign and make him a one-term president. But despite all of that, I find it critical, and I implore you to take a breath, to step back, to assess where we are, and figure out how you can do your part to bring this country back together. That doesn't mean giving up on your principles. That doesn't mean rolling over on what you believe. That doesn't mean giving up in any way. It means taking a breath and assessing where you are and figuring out where you can contribute to do the right thing in this country. I think it's extremely important today. We don't want more violence. We don't want more strife. But on the same token, we will not be run over either. So that puts us in an interesting position, doesn't it? It is America's Voice Live on a Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra-soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
And welcome back to America's Voice Live. It appears that Wisconsin now has officially been put into the Biden column. No surprise there. We've expected that for the last few hours. But Tudor, it has officially been placed there. Again, it doesn't change the states that we're watching: Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Michigan's still outstanding, but we expect that might get called officially by the Associated Press sometime in the near future as well.
It's definitely been an interesting election and a historic election. We had so much mail-in voting. It was different than anything we've seen in the past. Of course, we know that is because of COVID-19. We had the virus come in and folks were really pushing early voting, mail-in voting. But one thing that was unexpected is the president's growth with blacks and Hispanics. I want to go to our own Carrie Sheffield with Just the News to get more on this. Carrie?
Hey there, Tudor. Yes, looking at the demographics of the race so far, we saw that the president did better among Latinos and African Americans in some key battleground states, including in the state of Florida. My latest piece on justthenews.com looks at this, and in particular in Florida, where the president shrunk a gap that was very wide among Latinos in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. That gap was 31 points. As of late last night, the president had shrunk that gap to only 9 points, and especially with the Cuban American population, this helped carry the state of Florida for the president at the end of the day. Now, this trend brought the attention of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to the point where she tweeted out last night in response to coverage of this trend of Latinos for the president. She says, "I won't comment much on tonight's results as they are evolving and ongoing, but I will say we've been sounding the alarm about Dem vulnerabilities with Latinos for a long, long time. There is a strategy and a path, but the necessary effort simply hasn't been put in." And there's her response on that. It would be very interesting to see her in a debate with some Cuban American Latinos in Florida who would reject her narrative, her worldview that is more socialist, which these Cuban Americans say is harking back to the country they left behind and fled from, the regime of the Castro family, as well as Venezuelan immigrants who said that they don't want to hark back to that. Also in Argentina, where you have the Perón history there, lots of Latinos saying they don't want to repeat some of the government policies in their home countries here in the United States, and this certainly helped the president here in 2020. Obviously, we'll keep you posted on all of this at justthenews.com.
Thanks, Carrie. Make sure you tune into Carrie's show every day, Just the News AM at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Steve, it's interesting what she's talking about there, because I think this is what we're hearing is the reason that the Trump campaign wants to keep Arizona open. They say they did poll, and they did actually perform better in this election with Hispanic voters, and they're expecting some of those mail-in votes in Arizona and some of those uncounted votes in Arizona to be Hispanics who will be with the president.
Well, they expect the 520,000 votes that they have outstanding in Arizona, they expect to breaking hard for the president, so they believe Arizona will go to their column. They also believe Georgia and North Carolina will be in their column. The question is, really is, the only question outstanding is what happens to Pennsylvania, because if you look at, if you put Michigan into the column for Joe Biden along with Wisconsin, and you put Arizona into the column for President Trump and Nevada into the column for Joe Biden, you end up at 259 to 259. One state outstanding, that would be Pennsylvania. And that's where the entire shooting match will end up. So that's where it is. Joy Reid, by the way, says she hopes it doesn't end up in the Supreme Court because she thinks that Uncle Tom, Clarence Thomas, won't follow the law. What a grotesque thing to say, but hear it for yourself. Here's Joy Reid.
It's not exactly clear that we can trust Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh and these others not to be just like Bill Barr. And so I think what scares people is that if he decides to do something that it legally makes no sense, and you're right, but Mr. Bauer is ready for him. But if somehow they manage to stumble into the Supreme Court, do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence and Amy Coney Barrett and those guys to actually follow the letter of the law? No. I mean, it is a completely politicized Supreme Court that you can't just trust that they're going to do the right thing.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable. America's Voice Live continues after this.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in granite stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus, it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Hello, I'm William Shatner, and you may not know this about me, but years ago, I was diagnosed with a sleep disorder. And like millions of others, I was prescribed sleep equipment. Did you know sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning? That's why I use SoClean 2. It's the perfect complement to my daily routine, and it's hassle-free. SoClean 2 is fast and easy. It keeps my sleep equipment fresh every day without the need for disassembly. To keep the immune system strong, we should do everything we can to ensure a good night's sleep, including using the SoClean 2 daily to keep sleep equipment fresh. Try SoClean 2 risk-free for 30 nights. Order now and get $50 off. SoClean 2 is so fast and gives you peace of mind that your sleep equipment is fresh each time you use it. Call the number on your screen or go to SoClean2.com to take advantage of this risk-free trial and get $50 off. Call now.
Welcome back to America's Voice Live. I'm Tudor Dixon, and I am so lucky to be joined by our own Eric Greitens. He is the host of Actionable Intelligence here every weekday on Real America's Voice. Eric, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, Tudor. No,
today.
great to be on with you. You guys did a fantastic job last night. I and lots of other folks were watching. Great job bringing insight, analysis, up-to-date facts. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Really
it's
great.
been fun. I'm excited because I'm here in the Washington, D.C. studios,
Yes.
which my audience usually doesn't get to see me here.
Right.
So this has been really exciting. We're on a new set. Everything is coming together. The network is growing. Your show is still fairly new to the network.
We're in the third week. We've had a lot of fun. We've had Rudy Giuliani on. He's actually going to be joining us, if I may make a little plug. He's going to be joining us tonight, so we'll ask everybody to tune in at 6 p.m. He's on his way right now to Pennsylvania. He's going to be fighting for the president there. He'll be doing an interview with us, talking extensively about the president's strategy in Pennsylvania and across the country. So, yes, it's a great show. We're having a lot of fun. 6 p.m. Every night. And tonight, Rudy Giuliani will be on with us.
That should be fascinating because he has been a key component in the last few weeks of this campaign with all of the news that he was breaking with Hunter Biden. In fact, a lot of that was coming out of just the news as well. So a lot of what John Solomon here in the office is doing is impacting the country in major ways. However, this race, still uncalled, but it's looking more and more like it's going to Joe Biden right now. We're just getting news that Wisconsin has been called to Joe Biden. In Michigan, there are local outlets that are calling the state for Joe Biden. Now, there's some question about that because poll watchers are now saying some of the numbers were transposed. This isn't right. We know the president's going to fight. You, as a former governor, you know what this is like to be in a race like this.
Well, look, one of the things that you know and that everyone has said and everybody insists on is that, like, every vote has to be counted. And we do have to remember this is a human process and there are imperfections. And it is essential for the American people that we get this right. And I know that everybody on the president's team is going to make sure that we do so. It does sound like, from what I'm hearing and others are, and again, we'll get an update from Rudy Giuliani in just a couple of hours, that there's certainly going to be some legal challenges, demands for some recounts moving forward. So we can certainly be expecting that in the days ahead.
Well, and Arizona changed, which is interesting because a lot of people were complaining that Arizona was called way too early in the night. And now we have Arizona changing back, and they're saying, well, we haven't called Arizona yet. There could be 600,000 votes in Arizona that still have to come through. So that's definitely something to watch. I mean, this election is not won by anyone yet.
That's right. No one has won this election yet, and it is really important for everybody to recognize that there are a lot of different potential possibilities moving forward, right? Wisconsin, we just got some recent news, but it sounds like they're also going to be demanding a recount in Wisconsin. You've got Michigan, you've got Pennsylvania. You and Steve and the team have been talking about some of these things. These are all open questions still as we move forward.
So how does this compare to historical presidential elections? Because we're being told that we're living through history right now. This is unlike anything we've ever seen. And from the perspective of the virus and mail-in voting and early voting, that's probably true, but you have some insight into historical.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think one of the things that's actually really important to remember is that sometimes when we're in these moments and everybody's thinking about what's happening today, what's happening in the next hour, what's happening tonight, what's happening tomorrow, sometimes it's nice to take a step back and you kind of look back at American history. And one of the things that happens is that you can look back with pride. It also helps us to be able to look forward with a lot of confidence, because the country has been through some incredibly contentious presidential elections in the past. And yes, it's true. This is new and different with coronavirus, with the riots and looting that happened this summer, with the extensive mail-in voting that happened. But you go back, I mean, you could go back to 1800. It was the fourth presidential election in American history, and then Vice President Thomas Jefferson was in an electoral college tie with Aaron Burr. And so what ended up happening, there were only two times in American history where the vote actually went to the House of Representatives to decide who was going to be president. Sounds scary right now, right? So, but what happened at the time was Alexander Hamilton. He didn't really like Jefferson, but he hated Burr. So Alexander Hamilton threw his support towards Thomas Jefferson, and as everyone knows, Thomas Jefferson ended up becoming the third president of the United States. What many people know, but some also forget, is that when Hamilton did that, it accentuated this rivalry with Burr and actually led to a duel between Aaron Burr and that's right. We're talking right. You talk about contentious, right? You actually have Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton in a duel, and Burr's billet hit and killed Alexander Hamilton. Right. So talk about contentious. That was in 1800. You can look back. You look at 1912. You think about Teddy Roosevelt. Everybody will remember he became president. Right, when he was vice president, President McKinley was shot. Right, Roosevelt becomes president, and then after being elected himself, he says he's going to leave office. He goes. He's on an African safari. His handpicked successor, Taft, really becomes kind of an establishment Republican politician, whereas Roosevelt had been this bold crusader. Roosevelt comes back and he decides, you know what, I'm going to run again. So he jumps into the Republican primary. The Republican establishment backs Taft, but Roosevelt then leaves. He creates the Bull Moose Party, and he tremendously outperforms Taft in the election. Taft only got 8 electoral votes. Wow. Woodrow Wilson ended up becoming president. But again, talk about contentious. Or, you know, one of the things that's been so interesting is to watch how wrong the media and pollsters have gotten this, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, it's crazy.
Right, it's great. ABC News, Washington Post, I don't know if you and Steve have talked about this, had Wisconsin up 17 points for Biden. 17 points could not have been more wrong. Well, this has happened again in American history. You go back and look at 1948. Again, President Truman had become president when Franklin Roosevelt died in office. So he ascends from the vice presidency to the presidency. He's then running against Thomas Dewey. And the media and the elites they hated Truman. They wrote nasty stories about him all the time. And you go back and look, and at the time, they were so convinced that Dewey was going to win that they printed headlines that said, "Dewey defeats Truman." And there's that famous moment where Truman is stepping out of a plane holding up the headline that says Dewey defeats Truman, and of course Truman had actually defeated Dewey. I mean, these are just a couple of examples, not to mention 2000 between Bush and Gore, which you and I and many of our viewers lived through.
Well, that's what we keep talking about. This is our hanging chads. This is, when I talk to our producers about that, they're like, I don't really know what you're talking about. And I think, I'm so old that I know what a hanging chad is.
Yes,
but this is the hanging chad of 2000, of this year. Yeah, so now we are looking at that. But I want to tell our audience one more time, your show.
Yes.
You are going to have Rudy Giuliani on this afternoon. This is at 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Seems like this afternoon. I don't know when I've slept.
6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central. Rudy Giuliani will be on. He's joining us. Just was texting with his team. He's on his way to Pennsylvania right now. He's going to give everybody the latest on actionable intelligence at 6 o'clock.
Great. Excellent. So make sure you are tuned in at 6 o'clock to Real America's Voice for actionable intelligence with Eric Greitens. We are so thankful that you came on today.
It's always fun. Thank you, Tudor.
Wonderful. Stay tuned because we have a lot more on America's Voice Live.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra soft outer layer is a patented temperature regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
All right, well, here we continue into day 2 of the election. Not clear where it's going to end up. It's becoming more difficult to see the path for the president, but it's still there. Tudor, it's not over yet. She's not singing.
Nope, but the question is, how did we get to where we are? And before we started talking about those actual election results, we talked a lot about big tech and their influence on this election. It turns out their influence may have been bigger than we even knew. So I want to bring in Zach Voorhees. He is a former Google employee turned whistleblower. Zach, welcome back to the program. Tell us what you know about what went on before this election.
Hey, Tudor. Thanks for having me back on. I just got done talking to Robert Epstein, who is monitoring Google. And what he said is that he's got 733 field agents in the key swing states of North Carolina, Florida, and Arizona. From 400,000 preserved experiences on Google, he found 2 extraordinary things. First off, he found a consistent bias in Google search results favoring liberal news sources. That's not surprising. What is surprising is that this liberal bias was most strongest with the conservatives. Also, what's really interesting is that vote reminders were only going to liberal voters. If Google identified you as a conservative, you were not getting these vote reminders all the way up until 4 days before the election, when Google turned it back on for every single user starting on last Thursday. As a reminder, Google search page is seen by 500 million times a day by its users.
That is so surprising to me, but you also have, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I really shouldn't be surprised because of what we know from Google. But Zach, you also have a lawsuit going on. Now, yesterday I was getting text messages from people saying YouTube's down. We can't do anything on YouTube all of a sudden. I don't know if this was widespread, if this was just a few people that I heard from, some influencers that have pages, and if this was a fluke or if there was really something going on Election Day. But tell us about your lawsuit.
Yeah, so on October 15th, YouTube did a giant purge of Trump's most ardent supporters. And it looked like they were preparing for something big. Now that the election fiasco has happened the way that it did, it's now clear that Google was intending to do election meddling by taking the president's supporters offline. Last Monday, we filed a lawsuit against YouTube for a temporary restraining order, alleging that they did not even follow their own terms of service with their content creators. We went into an emergency hearing on Monday of this week. And today we just got back a ruling. I haven't looked at it yet because it just happened moments before I came on the show, other than to know that our temporary restraining order against YouTube was denied, and that there are some, and that we intend to appeal. The next place that we're going to appeal to is going to be the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, this was previously known as the Ninth Circus Court because it was such a strong liberal bias. But in the last 4 years, Trump has essentially flipped this court and has instead made this one of the most conservative courts within the nation. Our previous judge in the district level was an Obama appointee. The liberal media had given her every sort of accolade possible. And so we expected to lose in this Federal District Court of California. We expect that we're going to have a lot more of a favorable judge going into the Ninth Circuit. If for some reason we don't prevail there, then the network that got banned is essentially willing to fundraise all the way to the Supreme Court. We're going to challenge Google's banning of Trump's supporters, and we're going to make this about the Section 230 provisions. Google does not deserve a liability shield when it's going around and just banning people left and right. It's violating its half of the deal in order to have those liability immunity protections.
It's not often, Zach, that I say, I agree with Elizabeth Warren. I think we should cut these companies in half. I mean, honestly, the stifling of the freedom of speech the manipulation of information, the partnership of big business, big tech, and big government. It's not good for any of us. In fact, it's damn dangerous to your freedom and mine, and frankly, I'm sick of it. So maybe we should cut these companies in half. I don't agree with Elizabeth Warren on much of anything, but I might be on the same page as that. What are your thoughts?
There's a lot of Google's stockholders that are actually pushing for this antitrust action, because in order for Google to be broken up, the government first has to buy the company, which means that all the stockholders will get paid out. And so right now, Google has an incentive and a fiduciary responsibility to cause this disruption in order to try to get a buyout from the government. I personally don't want to see that. I want to see Google stockholders get reamed as their company collapses due to regulation and not a breakup. And what I want to do is I want to set a precedent for all the other companies that decide that they want to try a similar action like this in the future, saying, look, if you go ahead and create a monopoly to rig an election, then your stockholders are going to lose out. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to minimize shareholder value in order to have a shareholder revolt if something like this ever happens again.
Zach, we appreciate your hard work to protect the freedom of speech. Zach Voorhees, he is a former Google employee, now whistleblower. Thank you so much for being on the show today. It really is going to get heated in the next few weeks to see who did influence this election, if it happened at all. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Election Day coverage, post-Election Day coverage 2020.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
Welcome back to America's Voice Live. Some of you may not know this, probably none of you know this, but in our calls behind the scenes, sometimes we joke with Steve that he is our mushroom expert, but he really truly is a mushroom expert. We joke about this because oftentimes when we're on a call with him, if he's driving, he will just stop in the middle of the road and run into the forest looking for mushrooms. So I thought he may appreciate this next story, and that is that Oregon legalized magic mushrooms. Now, I don't know that you're actually a magic mushroom guy. I think you're more of a cooking mushroom guy, but you can clarify that.
Well, yeah, different kind of mushroom, that's for sure. But these were made legal in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They're now legal, what'd you say, in Oregon? I think that it's, I just think it's a dangerous path to go down. I don't want to be, the Netherlands. I don't want to be Amsterdam. But hey, don't mean to be a buzzkill, no pun intended, but the fact of the matter is these places don't lead us to a good place.
That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing they did. They actually decriminalized street drugs, and in that list is cocaine, heroin, meth, some small amounts of OxyContin, I think it is. These are all small amounts of these street drugs that they've decriminalized, but it just leads you into other problems, Stephen. And it shocks me because we've heard so much about the opioid crisis. I mean, outrageous amounts about the opioid crisis. And now, I've had several surgeries. My last few surgeries, the doctor's office said, hey, we are not giving you any opioids at all. We're going to just give you very, very low-level pain medication, almost Advil, because of this opioid problem. But now you have people in Oregon who are decriminalizing this. And Steve, I mix that with the fact that you've had all of these violent protests and all these attacks and the person that was shot there. It just seems like a bad combination, especially when we've had so many parents come forward and say opioids have taken their children from them.
Oh, it's a terrible crisis being exacerbated by the Democrats' reckless use of lockdowns around this country to protect us from a virus that, is not killing our kids, but I'll tell you that opioids are. Drug abuse and alcohol abuse and depression are killing our kids. They don't care about that. They really don't. They care about power, and that's what the Democrats have found themselves on the verge of right now. Now, I don't know how this election is going to come out. I'm proud of Susan Collins for holding on in the state of Maine. I'm proud of Tom Tillis for holding on in North Carolina, and Steve Daines maintaining the seat in Montana, meaning the Republicans will retain control of the United States Senate by at least a 51 to 49 margin. That's extremely important if Joe Biden does, in fact, come out and win this election. And we're not sure of that yet. We thought that Arizona was all done, and the Arizona Republic newspaper said, no, wait a second, no. The Republic was able to figure out from 9 of Arizona's 15 counties there were 400,000 ballots from outlying areas that lean heavily Republican, and they said actually it's probably 200,000 more than that because they were only able to ask 9 of the 15 counties. Maricopa County officials could not estimate the number of early ballots that had been dropped off at the polling place, and so that means there could be 600,000 ballots. 600,000 ballots out there, which means Arizona's almost assuredly going to go for Donald Trump. Another embarrassment for Fox News. The polling companies should be ashamed of themselves. The ABC News Washington Post poll saying that Joe Biden was leading in Wisconsin by 17 points. Did he even make it by a full point? I don't think so. The polling companies have had it all wrong, all over the place, pretty much the entire time. I think I should go into polling, too.
I think you should.
I'll just get out like tarot cards and tea leaves, and I couldn't possibly do any worse than these clowns, most of them, that's for sure.
Well, I wish we could have provided our audience with more clarity on election today. We were hoping that even within these 2 hours that we would get some more clarity. We did have Wisconsin that was called by the AP for Joe Biden, but still no president yet. Maybe you'll find out next on the National Pulse with Raheem Kassam. So stay tuned because it really is going to be post-election coverage all day here on Real America's Voice.
America's favorite easy on, easy off energy compression socks just got better. Introducing Copperfit Energy Plus, the world's first graduated compression socks with a rich blend of ingredients found in the top moisturizing lotions and creams. These microencapsulated ingredients are infused into the compression fabric and are gradually released and absorbed by your movement. Motion-activated technology designed to hydrate and soften for all-day comfort. The more you move, the more Copperfit Energy Socks delivers.
I'm not thinking about that I have compression socks on. That simple fact that they feel better with them on than with them off makes me love these socks.
Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric, made in FDA-approved manufacturing facilities, woven into our Easy On, Easy Off graduated compression sock to help reduce swelling and discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I feel that soothingness in my calves and in my ankles, but they can make my feet feel good after 300 miles on the road, and they got to be good for anybody else.
Enhanced compression around the arch and ankles for extra support and relief of muscle aches and pains. And a soft, shock-absorbing footbed for all-day comfort.
All that arch pain that I typically have is just relieved.
They are super comfortable. They do